VAT. When you mention the words or those three letters, it does sort of, people do tend to sort of back a little bit and think, oh Christ, it's not an area I particularly want to get into if I can avoid it. You have to register for VAT when your annual sales, your annual fees receivable hit a limit of £79,000. So once you're up over that threshold, you've got to compulsorily register for VAT. There is no sort of choice. It is something which, and I've had people who've come to me in the past, it's not something you just draw up your annual accounts and then that's it, leave it for another year. You need to measure it on an annual rolling monthly basis. So you need to assess whether you're up over the threshold, this 79,000 threshold, at the end of each month by reference to the previous 12 months sales. Once you've hit the threshold, there are various different schemes available, and without going into too much detail, there's an invoice basis. You can actually account for VAT when you're actually paid, which is known as a cash basis, which could be quite advantageous if there's quite a lag between you raising invoices and actually getting paid by your clients, by your customers. And for a lot of small businesses, one scheme to consider is the flat rate scheme, which is quite a nice little scheme. If your annual sales are below £150,000, you don't have to list out all the VAT on your expenditure and on your sales. You just take your sales figure, times it by a set percentage defined by the revenue, and then just write out or make a payment, or say write out a cheque, but make a payment online to the revenue for that amount of VAT. And for some people, that scheme can be quite beneficial. Firstly, it saves them quite a bit of administrative time. Secondly, it can save them a few pounds as well, because it can work out it's more beneficial to use that scheme. I think the thing to do in the short term is just monitor your sales. It is quite a big number, 79,000. You can voluntarily register for VAT early if you wanted to. So if you're making sales to the general public, generally speaking, it doesn't make sense to do so. If you're making sales to VAT registered businesses, then it may make sense to voluntarily register early. Thing to do is just monitor it, I think, in your early days, and then speak to an advisor as to when to register for VAT, and secondly, which scheme to use, which one works best for you.